So, Bobby, great to be here. Thanks very much for having me. It's always great to see you. Now, it kind of escaped your attention that we're getting towards December, the cold, festive time when there's Christmas parties, and of course, when the world of pop gets together to pat itself on the back in the world famous awards shows. Now, obviously, you've been to your fair share of award shows. You must have some stories.
Yes, the Smash It's Poll Winners Party. Those are words I've not heard in a good long while. I was there in 2003, 2004, and 2005. 2005, in fact, was the first time I met a young lady called Rihanna. 17 she was, reeking of marijuana. She was on the back of her second single, If It's Loving That You Want, that was a massive flop. And I remember remarking to one of my producers, she'll never go anywhere. And I think history's borne me out. But it was the year before that looms largest in my mind when I think back to the Poll Winners Party. Just because of the array of stars I interviewed that day. You know, it was a production line of talent. Talking Big Brothers, this is Big Bro taking over the show. Literally, they were then. Darren from Hollyoaks and Nancy as well. Both of them in one room on one sofa talking to me. Of course, that year really belonged to Busted. They walked away with a staggering 5 Smash It's Poll Winners Party awards. Best single, best band, and crucially, best haircut for Matt Willis, or Matty James as he was inexplicably known 10 years ago. But amongst such a sort of galaxy of UK pop stars, there was one star that really stuck out for me. Maybe not for the reasons you're expecting.
Our viewers would be disappointed if I didn't ask who you're talking about there, Bobby.
Like I said, it had been a long day and we were just planning to leave. We were packing up when the celebrity booker came charging in and said that she managed to secure an interview with Daniel Bedingfield. We couldn't believe it. Daniel Bedingfield in 2004 was hot shit. To get any time with him was practically unheard of. So, of course, we immediately turned the lights on again, settled in for an interview. He walked in. He's a man who likes to get straight to business. He sat down. There were no pleasantries. He sat opposite me. He was as far away from me as I am from you now, if you can believe that. We got straight into the meat of the interview. Had he met the Sugar Babes? Which of the cheeky girls would he rather go on a date with? And then finally, I got to the sort of the money shot question of the interview. Who is the most fanciable person at the Poll Winners Party today? Now, most people were saying Sarah Harding from Girls Aloud at the time. This was kind of before Cheryl had blossomed. So I was expecting something like that, but Daniel really upped the ante, and he said something I will never forget. He said, I suppose if you were to ask me who is the most fanciful person at the Poll Winners today, well, most of my friends would probably insist I said, my sister Natasha. There was an eerie pause in the room. Had Daniel Bedingfield just said he fancied his sister? Is that what he'd said? It sounded like what he'd said. It chilled me. It chilled me to the core. I miss those days. Great days.